Volcanoes are some of the most powerful forces on Earth, capable of swallowing anything that comes near them. If you were to fall into one, you'd disappear in an instant, leaving no trace behind. But what if we could use this destructive power for something good? Imagine dumping all our trash into these fiery pits. Would volcanoes become the ultimate solution to our waste problem, or would we be unleashing dangers we can't control? Let's find out. Volcanoes are one of the most fascinating and destructive forces of nature. Their blazing hot lava can melt almost anything in its path, leaving behind nothing but scorched earth. But have you ever wondered if this natural power could be used for something useful? What if we took all the trash we create, millions of tons of it every year, and dumped it into a volcano to get rid of it forever? It might sound like the perfect solution, but is it really? Could volcanoes handle the job, or would we end up creating even bigger problems for ourselves and the planet? In this video, we're going to explore what would happen if we tried to use volcanoes as giant garbage disposals. Let's dive in and uncover the truth behind this fiery idea. Volcanoes are more than just dramatic mountains spewing lava. They are complex natural systems with different types and behaviors. To understand if they could handle our trash, it's important to know how they work. There are two main types of volcanoes that matter for this idea: shield volcanoes and stratovolcanoes. Shield volcanoes are known for their slow, steady eruptions. They often have large lava lakes where molten rock flows calmly, which makes them seem like the ideal option for dumping waste. On the other hand, stratovolcanoes are much more explosive and dangerous. These volcanoes build up pressure from hot gases and magma, leading to violent eruptions that can send debris and lava flying into the air. The problem is that shield volcanoes, the safer option, are not very common. Most of the 1,500 potentially active volcanoes in the world are stratovolcanoes. To make things even more challenging, many volcanoes are located in remote areas, far away from cities where most trash is produced. Transporting garbage to these distant locations would not only be expensive, but could also create its own environmental issues due to the fuel and energy required. So, while the idea of using a volcano to burn trash might sound simple, even finding the right kind of volcano is already a big obstacle. Even if we could find the perfect volcano for burning trash, the next big challenge would be getting the garbage there. Most volcanoes are located far away from cities where the majority of trash is produced. That means we'd need to transport millions of tons of garbage over long distances, which would require a huge amount of energy and resources. Trucks, trains, or even ships would be needed to carry the waste. And all that transportation would release a lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, adding to the problem of climate change instead of helping solve it. And then there's the issue of safety. Getting close to a volcano is no easy task. Active volcanoes are incredibly dangerous places filled with toxic gases, molten lava, and sharp rocks. The path to the top of a volcano can be steep and unstable, putting workers and equipment at constant risk. Imagine being a waste collector whose job is to dump trash into a fiery pit of lava. The poisonous fumes, heat, and unpredictable conditions would make this one of the most hazardous jobs in the world. Transporting trash to volcanoes isn't just risky and expensive, it's also inefficient. The energy and money spent on moving all that waste could be used to develop better and more sustainable solutions for managing our garbage closer to where it's created. So, while the idea of using volcanoes might sound interesting in theory, the reality of getting the trash there makes it a lot less practical. Let's say we somehow managed to transport our trash to an active volcano. What would happen if we threw it into the lava? At first, it might seem like the trash would just melt away, but the reality is far more dangerous. Lava lakes, like those found in shield volcanoes, are incredibly unstable. When something cold, like trash, hits the surface of the lava, it can cause a violent reaction. This is because the sudden temperature difference creates pressurized steam and gases. In 2002, researchers in Ethiopia tested this by throwing a 30-kilogram bag of trash into a volcano. The result? Explosions that sent lava flying into the air. Now imagine doing this with an entire nation's garbage. The explosions would be massive, shooting molten lava and toxic gases high into the atmosphere. Rocks falling into lava lakes in Hawaii have been known to trigger explosions that shoot lava over 80 meters into the air. A full load of trash could create even more chaos. But the danger doesn't stop there. Lava can't completely break down all the materials we throw into it. Some substances like plastics or certain chemicals might partially burn and release toxic fumes, polluting the air. Others, like metals or radioactive waste, could remain in the lava and eventually be spewed out during an eruption, contaminating the surrounding environment. Instead of solving our waste problem, we could be creating new environmental disasters. Even if we could safely drop trash into a volcano without causing explosions, the pollution from burning waste would still harm the planet. Toxic gases like carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide would fill the air, contributing to global warming and acid rain. So, while it might look like the trash disappears in lava, the environmental damage it leaves behind would still be very real. Using volcanoes to dispose of our trash might seem like a creative solution, but the environmental impacts make it a terrible idea. One major issue is the pollution caused by burning waste in lava. When trash burns, it releases toxic gases into the atmosphere. Materials like plastic produce harmful chemicals that contribute to air pollution and global warming. Volcanoes don't have filters or systems to clean the smoke, so everything released would go straight into the air we breathe. Then there's the problem of incomplete burning. Not all materials break down fully in lava. Metals, chemicals, or even some everyday items could remain in solid or liquid form. These remnants could eventually be ejected during volcanic eruptions, spreading harmful substances over the surrounding areas. This could damage ecosystems, harm wildlife, and even make the land unsafe for humans. Another concern is the massive carbon footprint involved in transporting trash to volcanoes. Moving millions of tons of waste to remote locations would require fuel, and the emissions from this process would worsen climate change. In the end, the energy used and the pollution created would far outweigh any potential benefits of using volcanoes as garbage disposals. Instead of solving our waste problem, dumping trash into volcanoes could create a new set of environmental challenges. From toxic air to contaminated land, the risks are simply too high. If we're serious about managing our trash, we need to focus on better solutions, like recycling, reducing waste, or using controlled methods that don't harm the planet. Using volcanoes might sound exciting, but in reality, it would do more harm than good. If using volcanoes to burn trash isn't the answer, what are some alternatives? One option is to focus on modern waste management technologies that are safer and more efficient. For example, waste-to-energy plants use controlled incineration to burn trash and generate electricity at the same time. These plants are equipped with advanced filtration systems to reduce harmful emissions, making them a much cleaner option than volcanoes. By using the heat from burning trash to produce energy, we can also reduce our reliance on fossil fuels and create a more sustainable system. Another important solution is recycling. Many of the materials we throw away, like plastics, metals, and paper, can be reused or repurposed. Recycling not only reduces the amount of trash that ends up in landfills, but also saves energy and natural resources. For instance, recycling aluminum cans uses 95% less energy than producing new ones from raw materials. By focusing on recycling, we can significantly cut down on the amount of waste we produce. At the same time, we need to address the root of the problem: how much trash we create in the first place. Reducing waste through simple lifestyle changes like using reusable bags, avoiding single-use plastics, and buying only what we need can make a big difference. If we produce less trash, we won't need extreme solutions like dumping it into volcanoes or transporting it to remote locations. And while it may sound like science fiction, some people have even suggested launching trash into space as a future solution. While this idea comes with its own set of challenges, such as high costs and risks, it shows how far we're willing to go to tackle the issue of waste. Ultimately, managing trash requires a combination of smarter waste disposal methods, recycling efforts, and changes in how we consume and produce goods. Volcanoes may not be the answer, but with innovation and responsible choices, we can find solutions that are safer for both people and the planet. Volcanoes are some of the most powerful forces on Earth, capable of destroying anything in their path. At first glance, they might seem like the perfect solution for getting rid of our trash, but as we've explored, the reality is much more complicated and dangerous. From the challenges of transporting trash to the risks of explosions and pollution, using volcanoes as garbage disposals would cause more problems than it solves. Instead, we need to focus on solutions that are safer and more sustainable. Technologies like waste-to-energy plants, recycling programs, and reducing the amount of trash we produce can make a huge difference. It's not just about getting rid of waste. It's about creating a system that respects our planet and works for the long term. So, while the idea of dumping trash into volcanoes might sound exciting in theory, it's clear that it's not the answer. The good news is that we have the tools and knowledge to manage our waste more responsibly. The real challenge is making better choices and working together to create a cleaner, healthier future for everyone. Thank you for joining us on this journey of curiosity. If you enjoyed exploring this idea, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What other fascinating what-if questions should we explore next? Let us know. We can't wait to dive into more incredible possibilities with you. Thank you for watching and exploring this fascinating idea with us. We hope you enjoyed learning about the challenges and possibilities of using volcanoes to dispose of trash. While it's clear that volcanoes aren't the answer, the journey of curiosity is what makes these questions so exciting. There's so much to discover about the world and how we can solve real-life problems in creative and responsible ways. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What other what-if questions are you curious about? Let us know, and we might explore your idea in a future video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on our next adventure into the world of imagination and discovery. Together, let's keep asking questions, exploring possibilities, and staying curious. See you in the next video.